So, what was an American girl doing in a small village in West Pomerania? Well, for those of you who don't know, my name is Monica Zielinski, and I've been in Poland exactly 5 years. And since coming to Poland, I've been able to kind of travel around the country, especially now during the pandemic. I've really gotten to explore different regions. And now I have to ask you guys, have you been to Poznan?
Yep.
My least favorite city in Poland.
Why
Sorry,
is
guys.
that?
Just never taken to it like all the other cities in Poland.
Yeah.
Never really had to travel there. And when I've traveled there, it's always been too quick. And I feel like I've never got to know. Poznan like maybe I should. I'm from Warsaw as well, so there's Warsaw, Poznan.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't hurt me.
Well, I thought the old town was quite beautiful, but I did only stay for one night. And honestly, I was a little tired of the pubs and the kebab shops a little bit. So I wanted to get away from it all. And I took a train further northwest. Now, I don't know if you guys are really familiar with this part of Poland. It's the Zachodnio-Pomorskie, West Pomeranian region. And you can go all the way up to the Baltic and see the beaches. But I actually stayed in a small village where there are lots of forests and lakes and just overall a lot of natural beauty. And I was very surprised by how kind of untouched, unpopulated actually these regions were. And I was absolutely in love. It was only a few days, unfortunately, and I spent the whole time riding a bicycle around the different forests. And it was just such a great escape from the city life. But I think what surprised me the most was the countryside and the people in these small villages, because living in Warsaw, you kind of have this one mentality. And as soon as you're in a small town, in a small village, you see a whole new world. I don't know, like, have you had any experiences in a small countryside village?
Yeah, I lived in one. Oh, in Poland. Yeah, I mean, I love the Polish countryside, and the smaller the village, the better. But then again, that's kind of the rural kind of thing which I have inside me, that I love going to the country, and I love being secluded from other people, and it doesn't really matter that there's nothing there. And I love especially the kind of sklep spożywczy, so like the kind of small grocery stores when you usually got a couple of people, swigging their beers outside and not really caring about what's going on.
I feel like every village has this.
You get one, and you get like one bus coming through a week, and it's like, it's great,
I love that. And I feel like Polish people, when they see my reaction to all these little things that you're describing, they don't think it's anything special to them. But I feel as though, as a foreigner, to me, it's just so just interesting. And I'm at awe at just these little experiences. Like you mentioned, the little shop on the corner. And I was quite the attraction, because I was vlogging and walking around this tiny village, and everyone was kind of peeking outside the windows, and I felt like I was being watched.
There's a lot of that going on as well.
Well, if there's nothing going on and they see some girl walking around vlogging, it's interesting to them. But did you guys ever hear of that hit Polish TV show Rancho?
I've heard of it.
Have you
I've
heard of
never
it?
watched it.
Yeah. Okay. So my mom used to watch it all the time, and there was this character, Lucy, and she was from America, and she came to live in this village. And for a couple of days, that's how I felt. And it was quite the experience. But like I said, it's definitely worth visiting that region. Great people, great food, lots to do. Also kayaking, camping, fishing, all those great outdoorsy things. Getting away from the city is one of the best things that you can really do to get away and really just take a breather. And Poland is so underrated, I swear.
Oh, the Polish countryside especially. But one thing before you carry on, Monica, I'm really interested about where you were. I mean, you haven't actually said the name of this village yet, and where it's close to.
It's called Biały-Zdój. It's so very small. White sauce. Yeah, we took a train from Poznań to Piła, and then from Piła to Biały-Zdój, and it's just a platform. You get off the train, there's just a platform in a forest, and you have to walk about a kilometer and a half just through a forest to get to the little village. and it's just about like one block, I would say. You just make one big circle and that's about it.
Perfect.
So it's very tiny, but we stayed in a small farmstead. And it was one of the best experiences I've had since coming to Poland. And that says a lot. But I was just, the Polish word zachwycona. I was just enchanted by this little village, and I would love to go back there.
Did they feed you in this farmstead? I mean, like, did they give you some kind of home cooked meals?
Yes, I had żurek. It was very
Oh,
good. And also
Yeah, love a
fresh
bit of żurek.
cows. They make a lot of cheeses, fresh cheese, and some kielbasa over the campfire. And also we had fish. We don't have a car. I went with my boyfriend. We don't have a car. So we borrowed bicycles from the owners, and we had to bike 7 kilometers to this smażalnia, which is like a fish restaurant. And the woman said she's there. If she was the owner, she said the cook's already left and they're closing, but she'll make us some food anyway. And I felt so grateful because after a full day and also plus 7 kilometers more just to get there, it tasted so good. And it's just that kind of kindness that you don't always find in Warsaw, because someone else could have just shut the door and said, come back next day. So it's just that kind of hospitality that you really, really love. And it turned out she knew the hosts where we were staying, and she said, you should have told me from the start, tell them I said hello. They all know each other, so it's definitely something worth checking out.
Cool.